other day, I was scrolling through Reddit, as I am known to do, and I was on the TLC Sister Wives subreddit, and I saw a really interesting post that someone made. The thread speculated that maybe Meri initiating the legal divorce was a calculated move on her part to protect herself and separate Kody from having access to any of her assets. A lot of discussion ensued in which fans went back and forth discussing if this was plausible, the overall consensus being that Meri probably did not think of this divorce all by herself like it is posed to us on the show. I think it's pretty clear that Robin and Kody did come to her and lay out some sort of sob story about Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna getting ripped away from the family in case anything ever happened to Robin. And Meri really probably felt like her back was up against a wall there. Hindsight is for real 2020. Rewatching the show, knowing what we know now, puts a whole lot of things in a different perspective. While I don't think that Meri made any kind of intentional power move here, I do think that her legal divorce from Kody was inadvertently advantageous and done at the right time. And that's what I wanted to talk about in today's video. Let's discuss. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. Before we jump into today's topic, let's hear from today's video sponsor. I am so excited to talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, ExpressVPN. Watching Netflix without using a VPN is like getting in line at the drive-thru at Dunkin' Donuts only to get to the order window and find out that they're all out of donuts. Seriously, that happened to me. Think of Netflix as being the gatekeeper of the donuts. If you go to the wrong location, they may be out of what you want to order. But with ExpressVPN, you have the ability to access all of the donuts no matter where you are. Just taking Netflix as an example, with ExpressVPN, if you are logging in from only your home country, you are severely limiting yourself to all of the content you could access worldwide using ExpressVPN. Here I am logging in as if I am in the UK, and now I can see everything that is available and trending in the United Kingdom from the comfort of my home here in Florida. Pretty awesome, right? Of course, ExpressVPN is good for a whole lot more than just Netflix. ExpressVPN gives you a higher level of security than if you were just simply browsing the World Wide Web on your own. Data brokers actually collect your online data and they can trace it back to you using your device's unique IP address. Then they sell it off to other companies and even government agencies. ExpressVPN helps you to protect your privacy and mask your digital footprint. If you are interested in ExpressVPN, I have an amazing offer code for you. Go to expressvpn.com/realitysquad and you will get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Again, go to expressvpn.com/realitysquad. Thank you, ExpressVPN, for sponsoring this video. I seem to be stuck in a season 8 rabbit hole, you guys, for real. I've talked a lot recently about that visit from the anthropology students, but in the episode that immediately follows that visit, we have Meri visiting a lawyer seemingly out of the blue because she has this calling to legally divorce Kody so that he can legally marry Robin and adopt her 3 oldest kids.
So my thinking would be the easiest way would be for me and Kody to get a legal divorce so that Robin could legally marry him. Then he would be the legal step-parent.
That would be ideal for the children not being involved in the process.
Okay. For all intents and purposes, they can go into this adoption as Kody and Robin legally married. They have her 3 kids from a previous marriage and they've got one together. So they wouldn't even have to address the fact that we're polygamists.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say something that probably is not controversial, but I really don't think that Meri came up with this idea all on her own. Let's watch as Meri drops this bombshell on a very unsuspecting Robin and Kody.
I actually don't know why Meri's wanting Kody and I to come over and talk with her. What's up, this business or what?
I just had an appointment with the lawyer.
Okay.
I was talking to him about getting a legal divorce so that you guys can get married and then try to adopt the kids.
Are you sure?
It's just something I've been thinking about for a long, long time.
It kind of has boiled down to that me not being legally married to Kody is a huge wall in the adoption process.
I mean, are you promising nothing's going to change for us?
What do you mean?
I'm asking you, nothing's going to change for you and I, right?
This is a really weird question from
It's
you.
a fair question, though.
Robin says to the camera, I actually don't know why Meri has called us over to talk.
Sure, Jan.
Meri cannot even get the words legal divorce out of her mouth without choking up. So I really do not think that there was any kind of undercover, intentional power play on her part. Like I said in the intro, personally, I think that Robin and Kody laid a heavy guilt trip onto Meri in which she probably felt she had no other choice. I think that Robin and Kody made it seem like the big bad bio dad was going to come in and snatch the kids away from the family if anything happened to Robin. And ultimately, Meri felt like her back was against the wall, and if she were to balk at this legal divorce, she would be seen as a roadblock into Robin's oldest kid's safety and stability. And who would want to be that? What a crappy position to put someone in. Something that has been discussed and speculated about, I know I have been wondering about this, is was it even necessary for Kody to have to legally marry Robin in order to adopt her children? I did notice that when Meri went to visit that lawyer on her own, the lawyer told her that legally divorcing Kody so that he could legally marry Robin would be the easiest route to their end goal of Kody adopting Robin's kids. But he did not say that that was the only way possible for them to do it. The Browns have famously cried persecution for many years for living a polygamous lifestyle, but a lot of us have wondered just how real this clear and present danger actually was for them. The fleeing of Lehi in season 2 has pretty much been debunked at this point as completely unnecessary. I personally have received messages from people that live in Utah and say that as long as polygamists are otherwise law-abiding citizens, the authorities pretty much look the other way and let people live their lives. Now, raids have happened at polygamous compounds over the years, and that has always been a controversial move on the government's part. You know, ripping babies out of the hands of their mothers, not exactly a good look. But that is a conversation for another video. Christine did have family members of hers arrested, and she did grow up with that fear. Robin has talked about growing up with this fear as well, but was Kody ever really in danger of going to jail? I really don't think so. I know that the family was investigated after they went public, but by and large, I think this was a lot of drama that was drummed up for the show. By season 8, the Browns had settled in Las Vegas. They were all living in the cul-de-sac. We are many years into the TV show at this point. People know who the Browns are, and the town folk and local authorities in Las Vegas have not come for them. The kids are in school, and they seem to be really just living their lives as open polygamists. Kody has one legal marriage with Meri, and they aren't even really cohabitating because he has 4 separate households. So I guess because life has become so settled, it might be time to get a little bold with good old Uncle Sam. Clearly, it has been a discussion for a while about the desire for Kody to be able to adopt Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna. This is definitely not something that Meri came up with on her own overnight and then visited a lawyer on her own and then, surprise, just sprung this idea on Robin and Kody. I mean, come on. The question I have always wondered about, though, is did Kody have to legally divorce Meri and legally marry Robin in order for him to adopt Robin's kids. I mean, the whole topic of the kids having a whole ass biological father that was actually a part of their lives is, again, a conversation for another video. But let's just address what was actually necessary for Kody to do in order to adopt Robin's kids. Of course, it all starts off with the biological father relinquishing his parental rights, which they did get him to do. And according to the Clark County website, they have like an adoption overview. So they say that adoption is the process of becoming a child's legal parent. Adoption is permanent. If you scroll down a little bit, they answer the question, who can adopt a child? Anyone can adopt a child. However, the process is usually shorter and easier for step-parents or other people who are already related to the child. Generally, adoptive parents must live in the state of Nevada for at least 6 months before the adoption. If two people want to adopt a child, they must be married or registered domestic partners. If a step-parent wants to adopt a child, the parent and step-parent petition the court together for the adoption. If a child's other relatives, grandparents, great-grandparents, aunts, and uncles want to adopt the child, they will petition the court for the adoption. And I think this one is what would apply to Kody. If a non-relative wants to adopt a child, a home study is usually required. The child welfare agency and or other private adoption agencies usually arrange for the home study and help with the legal paperwork. If you are interested in adopting a child through the Clark County Department of Family Services, you can learn about their process by visiting their website. And it also goes on to say, like, before you even begin the process, what laws apply? Before you file anything, review the basics of the laws that apply on the adoption overview page, which is what we just went over. This page only applies if all of the following are true. The following lives in Clark County, Nevada. The child to be adopted is related to you by blood or marriage. Within 3 levels, usually step-parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and aunts and uncles. If 2 people are adopting, those 2 people are married or registered domestic partners. The child to be adopted is not an American Indian. If the child is age 14 or older, the child will consent to the adoption. The parent to be replaced through the adoption will either sign a written consent or their parental rights have already been terminated by a court. If you need to have the parent's rights involuntarily terminated, visit the termination of parental rights page. If all of the above conditions are not met, you may need the assistance of a private adoption company and or a private attorney. So my big takeaway from reading what was posted on the Clark County website about adoption is that there was a way for Kody to legally adopt Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna without legally marrying Robin. But arguably, it would have been a much longer, more drawn out, and more expensive process because likely they would have had to hire an attorney to kind of lead them through all the paperwork and whatnot. Undeniably, divorcing Meri and legally marrying Robin was the easiest and simplest route to accomplish the adoption. Just from going back and watching the episode about the divorce being brought up, I think it's pretty clear that the divorce process really shattered Meri. Soon after the divorce, Meri would find herself embroiled in the whole catfish saga. And then bing, bang, boom, fast forward to season 17. After the one-on-one tell-alls start to air, Meri and Kody put out a joint statement that was probably more from Meri, let's be honest, that they were putting a permanent end to their situationship. But speaking of now being 9 seasons past the initiation of this divorce process, can we not all agree that this was absolutely the smartest thing for Meri to do? During season 17, when Kody and Christine are discussing the logistics of them separating, Kody throws all kinds of nonsensical legal threats at Christine after she announced that she wanted to move away from Flagstaff and take Truly with her. And Christine wasn't even his legal wife. If Meri decided to leave him now and she was still his legal wife and she had the B&B as an asset, and all of her LuLaRoe money, do we think that Kody would hesitate at all to stake his claim of 50% of that? I don't think so. He would go after what he was legally entitled to in a heartbeat. So in my opinion, the legal divorce was definitely not Meri's idea, but it did turn out to be an unintentionally advantageous power play on her part, because now Kody is legally married to Robyn, the only non-income producing wife he has ever had. At this point, they have a lot of bills they need to pay in order to maintain the lifestyle for which they have become accustomed. And they are not legally entitled to any of the money of the wives that have left the family. So congratulations, Robyn and Kody, you played yourself. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at realiteasquad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.